KUAM News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust, serving Micronesia since 1938. Matson and the Adahi Tano program. Cars Plus, home of Guam's first and only lifetime limited powertrain warranty. IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurants, always open, always local, and serving up favorites for over 40 years.
Ahead on Primetime, a bill that would give employees more choices when it comes to health insurance is heard on the session floor. Nestor Lecanto has the story. Plus the latest update on the payment of stimulus checks and how much has been paid out. And the first Guam Department of Education high school holds their Grad and Go ceremony.
Hafa and good evening. I'm Adriana Cotero. Health insurance is the government of Guam's single largest contract every year, and a bill to provide employees with more choice in the matter was the focus of lengthy debate at today's legislative session.
The measure by Senator Jose Pito Terlahi would allow the governor to sign contracts with 2 health insurance providers instead of the current single company. Terlahi and others say they've gotten numerous complaints about the current and first-time contract winner, Aetna International. But that's not the only reason, Terlahi says, he introduced the bill.
In difficult economic times like this, we need our taxpayers' dollars to circulate within our economy instead of being exported of island. The overall economic impact of the health insurance choice should be examined, including the positive economic multiplier for local choice. Buying local means local jobs, which support our families here on the island.
Administration Director Ed Byrne fielded questions at the morning session, noting that the current mandate of his contract negotiating team is to seek the lowest cost carrier. But Senator Joe San Augustine said he supports opening it up to all carriers, setting minimum coverage levels, and letting employees decide if they want to pay the difference for added service.
Would that be just as easy? Because it doesn't matter which insurance you go to. When they file the claim and GovGuam has to pay, because that's where they sign up, you're only going to pay the set amount, and the different class of services provided will be standard across the board through all insurance.
Yeah, it's only a matter of the contribution. You're correct. And it would be a different contribution if you, it's like buying up, right? That could work.
And Byrne says he supports yet another option in the bill, which allows the government to insure itself and contract for a third-party administrator to handle claims.
I certainly feel that the government of Guam can get some advantage from being self-funded with certain safeguards, like a stop loss, and that's one of the things we're having to look at.
For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
Late this afternoon's session was recessed until tomorrow morning. Freedom of choice, that's what the Mayor's Council of Guam continues to advocate for as senators debate the health insurance choice bill on the floor. Here's more.
Agania Heights Mayor Paul McDonald says although he's had his share of problems with GovGuam's sole source health insurance contract with Aetna, what it really boils down to is giving GovGuam employees and retirees a choice. For McDonald, his issues with not having a choice for insurance started when he sought off-island care in the Philippines. And the mayor tells KUAM News he wasn't even the worst-case scenario.
There were several people that were there that had to come home because they couldn't get any answers, or they couldn't get treated because they cannot afford it. You know, it's very sad, and like I said, you know, that we should have the choice.
As you may recall, the Mayor's Council of Guam unanimously passed a resolution supporting Bill 255, which would give GovGuam employees and retirees the freedom to select which health care plan they want to enroll in. Mayor's Council Executive Director Angel Sablan says the topic will likely come up in tomorrow's mayor's meeting.
We'll bring it up tomorrow, and I'm sure we're not going to be short in the discussion. I mean, I know the mayors would come up and again bring it up. I mean, COVID has put it probably on the flat burner for now, but it's coming up and it's on session, so it's something that we really look forward to having the legislature act on. We're still looking forward to having a choice. We really want to have a choice.
Meanwhile, Mayor McDonald worries that GovGuam retirees don't know the measure is being debated by senators. He urges Manumco retirees to call legislators to voice their support for choice. And his message to senators?
Are you there to help the people or help the government? You know, that's the question that they should ask themselves. We have a resolution already, and they should look at it and reconsider the no choice, you know, and give us the choice.
For Guam's News Network, Chris Barnett reports.
An update now on the economic impact payments, or EIP stimulus checks. Department of Revenue and Taxation Director Daphne Shimizu says a total of $117 million worth of checks have been paid out to date. DRT is expected to pay out a total of $134 million in CARES Act stimulus funds.
We've paid out about 87% of what we had estimated, and we're excited about that. I know I've met people who have received their payments, and you know, again, as we had worked on this program, the most important thing, and we talk about the pillar of the CARES Act that we have been really leaning on, which is the making sure that payments are made out to our people as soon as possible, and so that's what we work to do.
DRT is still waiting on additional CARES Act funding to pay out all the EIP checks. She adds they are working to cut checks every week up until the cutoff of December 31st. Shimizu was on our interactive radio show Containing COVID. You can watch the full interview immediately after primetime. Shimizu provides an update on not just stimulus checks, but on services the agency is currently providing. And a 36-year-old man was arrested and charged with aggravated assault following an incident that occurred in Telefofo on Monday afternoon. Police spokesperson Paul Tapao says the officers responded to a disturbance at a home in Telefofo around 12:19 p.m. Joseph Genis Perez apparently was arguing with a woman. When she tried to leave with her teenage daughter, Perez jumped in his truck and rammed into the woman's car several times. Police found Perez in Santa Rita, and inside his truck they found several stolen guns and drugs. According to court documents, he was also charged with family violence and possession of a firearm without a firearms ID. Perez was booked and confined. A superseding indictment charges retired University of Guam professor Thomas Marler with wire fraud and money laundering. Marler is accused for participating in a scheme to rig bids for numerous UOG federally funded projects from February 2012 until June 2015. According to court documents, two co-conspirators, United States Department of Agriculture employee John Hobart, or Bart Lawrence, and his daughter Janika Lawrence are also facing federal charges for their part in the scheme. Court documents further state Marler and Bart Lawrence agreed Janika would start a business called Sansar Consultant in order to receive work awarded by UOG. Marler was the principal investigator in charge of awarding the projects. A hearing has been set for June 4th at 9 a.m. in Magistrates Judge Michael Bordalio's courtroom. A recent audit by the Office of Public Accountability shows that over the last 5 years, the fire department has accounted for 50% of all general fund overtime spending. Nestor Lecanto takes a closer look at the numbers.
Fire Chief Dan Stone has only been on the job for the past year and a half of those 5 years. He was not available for an on-camera interview, but provided written responses. His reaction to the finding that half of all line agency OT was accumulated by GFD? It was due to a critical shortage in personnel over that period due to retirement, resignations, terminations, and military deployments, he said. That meant that personnel had to be recalled on their days off in order to meet minimum manning standards. He also says OT expenditures were compounded by public safety wage increases that went into full effect in fiscal year 2015. The audit also found that GFD's OT expenditure increased by 44% over the 5-year period, while GPD's decreased by 33%. Again, Stone attributes this to critical manpower shortages, but he says in FY19, the first year he was in charge, the OT rate dropped to 21% due to the hiring of 45 new recruits. The audit also found that captains, service specialists, and firefighter 2s were the top OT earners. Stone says that's because those positions were assigned to emergency operations where the extreme personnel shortages are. Finally, we asked if there's a plan to reduce OT, especially given the expected plunge in government revenues. Stone's response was that in order to do so, they needed to promote a total of 152 personnel from the current ranks to eventually create an additional 85 fire recruit positions to go with the current 31 vacancies. The plan is to hire at least 15 recruits a year, which he says will eventually reduce OT by 40 to 50% annually. The last resort, says Stone, is to shut down stations or consolidate units, but that will impact GFD's response time to emergency calls and life-saving services to the public. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
Dusit International has taken over the management of the Outrigger Guam Beach Resort effective June 1st. The hotel will be rebranded as the Dusit Beach Resort Guam. The expanded agreement with local owner Tanota Partners also includes management of the Plaza Shopping Center. The 604-room hotel, which opened in Guam 20 years ago, is currently under renovation. And according to a news release, it will showcase an all-new contemporary look and feel. All current Outrigger employees will be retained, and Dusit Thani Guam Resort General Manager Dean Huntsman will oversee operations as Dusit International's Regional Vice President of Operations. Dusit is one of Thailand's leading hotel and property development companies. While many parts of the nation are still in the grips of chaos protesting the death of George Floyd, allegedly killed at the hands of police, Guam too is showing up. Dozens gathered at the ITC intersection yesterday to show support for the Black Lives Matter movement. And Nola Hicks from the Guam Police Network and NMI community of Guam is inviting island residents to 2 more protests this Friday.
You're seeing what's spilling across America, whether it be positive or negative. You know, the intentions behind bringing awareness to this is basically the injustices that cannot be tolerated. So I just, I welcome the Guam community to come out, to stand in solidarity. It's 10 or 15 minutes of your time, just to show your support. I'm speaking to the people of Guam as a person of color, as a person that cares, as a person that's married to somebody who works for the justice system that is constantly failing us. So we just need to be able to fix that. We need to call on our leaders to help us fix that.
Hicks has invited the Guam Fire Department, senators, the Tamuning mayors, and others to also join them from 4 to 6 p.m. Friday at the ITC intersection. She also hopes to get support from the Guam Police Department during the peaceful protest. Another protest will be held at Adelup Friday from 3 to 5 p.m. Don't forget to wear a mask to these events and practice social distancing. Stick around for more news here on Primetime. You're watching KUAM.
Hafa, I'm Bernie Valencia with Matson. Our local Matson team understands that these are very trying times for everyone. Matson's top priority, like yours, is to keep our families safe and healthy and ensure you have what you need. We'd like to give you peace of mind that Matson's service continues unscheduled and uninterrupted. Matson is committed to our weekly service from the United States West Coast to Honolulu into Guam and Saipan. We are working with the Port Authority of Guam and providing the capacity and services our customers need so they can continue to meet your needs. Matson will take all appropriate measures to ensure continuity of service into Guam and Saipan. When we work together to take care of our family and neighbors, we will emerge from this as a stronger island community.
This public service announcement was brought to you by the Port Authority of Guam, KUAM Communications, and Matson.
During these uncertain times, it's important to remember that we are in this together.
The Calvo's Insurance team has continued to service the needs of our customers.
As in the past 80 years, you can count on us to be here when you need us most, when it comes to your health and the health of your family.
Let's continue making the right choices by staying home, staying safe, and staying healthy.
We are all in this together, and together we will rise again.
Our community values everyone's voice, and right now, our combined voice can be more powerful than ever. It can bring our community together and change our island for the better. It can enhance health services, educational programs, and job opportunities, so our families and neighbors thrive today, tomorrow, and for many years to come. Responding to the 2020 Census of Guam is our chance to be heard, come together, and help shape our future.
KUAM News, winner of the 2020 Regional Edward R. Murrow Award for Excellence in Social Media.
Welcome back. The first public high school class of 2020 crossed the stage with their cap and gown on this morning. Loved ones showed their support from their cars, and KUAM drove by Okodu High School's Grad and Go ceremony to join the celebration. Turning their tassels with a high school diploma in hand, dressed in cardinal red cap and gowns, wearing their face masks. Okodu Bulldogs fight on.
I can do all things.
332 Okodu High School seniors are doing all things in this morning that was showcased through the Guam Department of Education's Grad and Go commencement ceremony.
It feels exciting, but it's so different because it's not really traditional. But I'm just happy that I got to walk despite the circumstances that we are in.
I'm just very excited for this. You know, after all this quarantine and school ending, I'm just glad that we had this.
I'm very excited and I can't wait to start working and start my future.
Sharing feelings of excitement as 1 month ago a ceremony was unforeseeable, with the pandemic closing school doors early without a goodbye. However, GDOE brought the challenge forward to the students, and that challenge was accepted and accomplished with this creative drive-through celebration.
I feel really grateful to have this opportunity to do so, and I'm so grateful for my class, for all this all things.
As students crossed the stage, families were able to drive alongside, cheer their children on from inside their decorated cars.
It's great. At least there's a graduation and we have some memories. A great accomplishment for my son, which is important that we be here.
The Bulldogs were the first school to host the Grad and Go ceremony, with more commencements scheduled throughout the month. And before entering their next life chapter, the seniors say a final farewell.
I just want to say congratulations to my parents and also my friends for encouraging me throughout high school with all the great memories and all the fun stuff and new experiences.
On behalf of KUAM, congratulations to all graduating seniors. We wish you a bright and prosperous future. Guam Catholic schools have narrowed it down to 3 options as they start to plan details for reopening their 14 schools in the fall. According to Superintendent Dr. Juan Flores, one option is full-time online distance learning courses, and on the other side of the spectrum is to have in-class schooling with social distancing and sanitization adjustments. However, the most likely scenario is having a combination of the 2 options, explains Dr. Flores.
We have some kids in school and some kids in some kind of distance learning, so that the schools will reduce their occupancy. So if we normally have to have a classroom with 20 kids, that we would either have only 10 kids or maybe 15 kids.
Dr. Flores says they are aiming to have anywhere between 50 to 75% occupancy in each classroom, with students either staying home or elsewhere in the school building doing coursework, with plans to either have half-day schedules or alternating day schedules. Additionally, the private schools have been in close conversations with Guam Department of Education on CARES Act funding resources and also transportation details.
Some of our students depend on busing in order to get to our schools. So in some ways we have to follow what the busing arrangements are going to be.
GDOE is expected to present an update on Friday morning to the private and non-public schools of their plans to reopen. The 40-day comment period on a programmatic agreement memo has opened for another marine base relocation project in Dededo. The public can read and make comments on Project J017 PA Memo Number 1, which proposes to construct area distribution nodes and site telecom cabling at Naval Base Guam Telecommunications Site in North Finnegan. According to a NAFAC release, the memo provides new cultural and natural resources information associated with the planned construction of the project. You can view the document on NAVFAC's Pacific Cultural Information webpage and submit your comments via email at criwebcomment@navy.mil through July 15th. There's more info on KUAM.com, including a copy of the memo. And in regional news, families from the Marianas are stuck in the Philippines as their medical treatments are delayed due to COVID-19. It's a global complication with ties to our island home. Tomas Manglotnia reports.
None of us, ever expected this to happen, and none of us wanted it to happen.
Alicia Torres Tabilisma is marking her 5th month stuck in the Philippines. Her medical appointment disrupted by COVID-19.
We really want to go home, but still we can't go home yet because some of our procedures not done yet, and we need medical clearance before we leave.
The 47-year-old Saipan resident is with her son and husband. She knows of at least 20 other patients and their families from the Marianas who are also stranded. Many of their questions are still unanswered.
I'm an oxygen depender, so when I got here, I have a nurse escort. If I'm going back to Saipan, are they still going to provide me with my nurse escort for oxygen? We just need to, get through it and stay positive and pray that everything will be okay, right?
NMI U.S. Congressman Gregorio Sablan taking to Facebook responding to families like hers, writing in part that NMI residents in need should contact the Medical Referral Liaison or the Congressional Office. Governor Ralph Torres responded at a press briefing last Friday.
We are reserving funds for them for the flights that are available. Again, the first flight out will be definitely booked, but we're trying our very best to get everybody that's eligible and that can travel to come back home.
Tomas Manglotnia for KUAM News on Saipan.
Thanks, Tomas. We should add Philippine Airlines plans to resume flights in the next 2 weeks. All 50 states, including Guam, have eased certain restrictions and are now in a reopening phase as people begin to return to pre-lockdown life. Many are still worried about contracting COVID-19. In this week's Health Check report, we take a look at the risk levels associated with everyday activities.
Health Check is presented by Island Cancer Center. Now that Americans are returning to work, dining out, and heading to hair salons and churches, people want to know, how safe are those activities?
Depends how old you are. If there's somebody in your home who's potentially at higher risk for complications, all of those will gauge what you do.
CBS medical contributor Dr. David Agus says spending time outdoors carries a lower risk.
What we do know about this virus is that there are very few cases, very, very few that are transmitted out of doors. So when you look at activity, outdoors, indoors, outdoors should trump all. If you want to go out to a restaurant, eat outdoors.
Experts say outdoors, virus particles dilute quickly, but indoors, the virus will be more present because there's less air circulation. Paula Cannon, a professor of microbiology and immunology at the USC Keck School of Medicine, explains why hair salons are higher risk environments.
You have that much more personal interaction with your hairstylist or somebody doing your nails. You can't be 6 feet apart.
Cannon says any place where people are enclosed for hours at a time, whether it's at work or places of worship, there's a higher risk of infection, but wearing a mask will help.
So that's just a way that you stop those droplets getting into the atmosphere, and that just really cuts down on transmissions.
A new CDC study also recommends people limit or avoid vigorous exercise in confined spaces. But some gym owners say they're taking steps to make their facilities safer.
So you've got a pod here in each space, which is like 200-300 square foot for each person. So we're not even just doing physical distancing at 6 foot. We're doing like, you got half the gym to yourself.
Professor Cannon suggests people check with businesses about what they're doing to sanitize and keep them safe before visiting. And experts say no matter where you are, you should always maintain social distance. Danya Backus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Health Check is presented by Island Cancer Center.
Don't go away, more prime time when we return.
Your community calendar is brought to you by Taco Bell. Whether it's your first meal or your fourth meal, we've got you covered. Taco Bell, live Más.
More freedom. To learn more. To create more. To connect more. Mix and match Data Pass. Take your data further.
We are open to serve you at Cars Plus Guam. Need a quick service for your vehicle? Visit our express lane at Cars Plus. Done fast, done right. No appointment needed. Our service team is dedicated to helping you get your vehicle in and out of the shop and back on the road quickly and securely. Simply drop off your vehicle at our express lane driveway, and one of our service advisors will take care of it. Need a ride? Not to worry. We have a shuttle vehicle ready to drop you back home and pick you up when your vehicle is ready. Open Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Visit us today. We are open to serve you.
It's not always easy trying something new. Sometimes you have to help your loved ones along. Nana is so used to her weekly trips to the bank that going online can be a little scary for her. But her grandson knows that banking online is safer and easier. So he's teaching her how to get started using Bank of Guam's online banking videos. Teaching is one way to show our loved ones we care. Keep your family safe at home and show them how to bank online. Find easy-to-use online banking tutorials at bankofguam.com or on our Instagram and Facebook pages. Bank of Guam, member FDIC.
This morning, during containing COVID, Bree and Chris found out about a socially distant drive-by baby shower for one new mom.
So we always try and end on a good note, and we're going to do it with Terry, who we're going to bring onto the show here. Good morning, Terry.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So this is really cool. Now, your brother had passed, and so his daughter, your niece, is Mapotgi.
Well, actually, she gave birth already like 4 days ago.
Oh,
Right,
congratulations.
So, yeah, congrats. A boy or girl?
It's a boy.
It's a boy, and we're going to show, I should have known that because you sent the videos. But
Yeah.
so basically, because of the COVID, we weren't able to have baby showers and all that kind of stuff. And so what you had done, I think this is so cool, is you organized, what would you call this?
Well, actually, I wasn't the one who was a planner. It was her sister, Tara. She was the one who planned it, and then I guess, she got all the family and friends together, and what we did was we had a group chat, and she was telling us what, if we have any ideas and stuff, and, I kind of like threw out some stuff like, wearing shirts and decorating our vehicle, and it turned out very successful.
It did, and looking at this video, this is pretty cool. Is this something that you guys have kept secret from your niece?
Yeah. She was really emotional. She got emotional. She started to cry. If you notice in one of the videos, she was, I don't know, I'm starting to cry too.
Don't you start to cry, because then I'm going to cry. Sabrina don't cry, though.
Yes, I do.
I've only ever seen you tear up.
It turned out perfect. It's too bad a lot of us couldn't get down to see the baby, but actually they could have, they could have just gotten down because the baby was in the room, and the grandmother, which is Evelyn, was carrying the baby, to show everyone in the window.
Aww.
Through the window. So.
What's the baby's name?
Mason Ray.
Cute. That's
And we got the video up here now. If you guys can see, this is pretty cool. So there was a motorcade part, and then you also had people drive up. And what's going on here? Are you giving them plates of food or something?
Yeah, food and party favors. Yeah.
Oh, that's cute. And so your niece cried. You almost cried. How emotional was it for the people who, because, you know, this is in lieu of what we would normally do. And, you know, baby showers, yeah, you know, I've got a few in my history. It's always a great occasion where you're celebrating, right? And so how was this in lieu of that?
Well, you know, I was kind of like sad, and you know how it is. Like you mentioned, we've gone through baby showers, and you know we prepared this like maybe a month before the shower, you know, and then now that we're going through this pandemic, we can't really do much. I mean, we can't invite the whole family, which you know how it is here in Guam. There's like thousands of family, you know, that come to the party. So, but it turned out perfect, you know, and everybody was satisfied, even if they didn't get a chance to see the baby. But there's always later on, you know, that they will get a chance to see him.
Right. Are you guys already planning the christening?
I'm not sure. Maybe we're gonna have to wait on that. I'm hoping we do, you know, until it kind of like calms down a little.
Right.
When we get to Court 3, or you know, but I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure they'll plan something.
Right.
Well,
that's what I was wondering. Yeah.
Good decision to wait.
If you're planning anything else that with the social distancing. But, you know, Terry, this is really cool. And we've seen so many examples of how our people of Guam who are just so resilient, we get dealt a bad hand. We turn those cards into a winning hand. And this is just another, it's another way to show that, you know, our spirit, you know, whether it's COVID or economic, you know, somehow we just keep on striving. And
more freedom. To learn more, to create more, to connect more, Mix and Match Data Pass. Take your data further.
Gather round, the Cravings Pack from Taco Bell. 4 crunchy tacos and 4 beefy 5-layer burritos, paired perfectly with all your Taco Bell favorites. So grab a Cravings Pack for your crew at Taco Bell's contactless drive-thru.
MTO Maintenance will now completely sanitize your home, office, or business with state-of-the-art commercial sprayers. For over 30 years, MTO Maintenance has been committed to the health and safety of our customers. And now, more than ever, a clean home, office, carpets, and furniture is a necessity to our island. Give us a call today. Stay healthy and stay safe, Guam.
Call 647-6861 for an appointment. Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
King's Restaurants are still cooking up your favorite breakfast, lunch, and dinner plates and have them available for carryout and delivery. Call them in Tamuning at 647-5464 or in Dedito at 637-5464 and order for carryout. For delivery, please download the free Grab and Grub app and follow the instructions to get King's delivered to your door. Be safe and stay healthy until we see each other again at King's.
And before we close out the news tonight, our latest round of birthday shout-outs from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club.
On June the 2nd, we say happy birthday to Joshua Leo Alianza Jr. Happy birthday, Junior Boy. Enjoy your day, my sunshine, S-O-N-S-H-I-N-E. Very clever, sunshine. Love Daddy, Mommy, and the whole family. Hope you have a great day, Josh. Alivia Onishi, happy birthday number 11. We love you so much, baby girl. God bless you always. Love, Mommy, Daddy, Nana, and Papa. And happy birthday number 10 to Mason Molinos. This comes from Kuya, Amelia, Mom, and Dad. 3 really awesome Guamanians, 3 really cool people with 3 loving families and 3 sets of friends all over the world who really, really care about them. And 3 people whose birthday it is today, so we hope each of you have a fantastic day.
Remember, you can be part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by registering online on KUAM.com. Please make sure to include with your photo your name and birthday. That's going to do it for us here on Primetime. Thanks for watching and have a good night.
Thank you, Bree. Let's go to the phones where we have the director of Rev and Time.